Hello and welcome to Yoga for Children. My name's Susan Kelly and this is my dog Poppy. She'll be here most of the time as well. Now, some of my yoga students, as you know, I've been teaching you for quite a few years, some of you since you just started walking. I'm hoping also through this new world of ours that we find some new children to do yoga with us. So we'll start a little bit from the beginning in our way that we tell our stories. We'll teach the poses as we go. Okay, my idea with Yoga for Children is that although we have fun and we move our body, we do work in the spirit of yoga. We work on strength, flexibility, and balance, mind and body. We could say this is our mind hand and this is our body hand, and we work to bring those together in the spirit of yoga. Okay, let's begin. Now, our first and probably most important yoga posture is what we call the thinking pose. Now, the thinking pose is a seated pose where you cross your legs and you make sure your back is really tall. Sometimes we call this a beautiful back, but it's a tall back and it's supported at the front, and we're lifting the chest and there's like a golden cord that's pulling our head up. Yeah, we're really lifting tall. Okay, so that's the thinking pose. We often do this at the beginning of our class or at the end of the class just to quieten down. So I'd like you to find this thinking pose, rest your hands on your thighs, and see if you can close your eyes. It's difficult to close your eyes, particularly while you're looking at a screen, but I want you to close your eyes just while I count to 3. Keep your back tall. 1. Keep breathing. 2 and 3. Okay, open your eyes. Well done. Well done. Okay, now I am remembering I'm going to set my timer to stay on track. Okay, so we know the thinking pose. The next thing is to talk about the breath. When we breathe in yoga, we breathe through the nose. Okay, we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, which means that we mostly keep the mouth closed. So let's close the mouth, zip it up, and toss that key away. Okay, so we're breathing through the nose, and you know the thinking pose. We're on track already. Okay, so we often use animals to tell stories with our bodies through yoga. Okay, so our first animal, our first friend in our story, we tell stories, is a frog. And this is how we do the frog. The heels turn in, the hands are together, and the spine is long. The mouth is closed, and we're breathing in and out through the nose. So our stories often begin, once upon a time in a magical faraway land, there was a beautiful frog. And because we're in tropical North Queensland, the frog is probably a giant white-lipped tree frog. Now, frogs really love climbing trees. Okay, so we have tree pose where we work on our balance. We bring the leg up, and it could be a great big tree. Now, if you have a friend or brother or a sister or a mother or a father, you could hold them to help with your balance if you wanted. But otherwise, we could be here, bringing the mind and the body together. Now, the frog really loved climbing trees, so we changed legs. It's a big rainforest tree today. Now, the frog had some really special friends. Okay, so let's find the frog's friends. Poppy, I'm going to need you to get off the mat now, sweetie. Thank you. Okay, so let's find the dog pose first. We sit back on our bottom, reach all the way forward, tuck the toes under, lift the knees, lift the bottom in the air, and press back. So perhaps our story now is, once upon a time in a magical faraway land, there was a dog who made friends with a frog. Now, the dog and the frog had another really special friend, and that was a lizard. Now, the lizard and the dog and the frog wanted to have an adventure. Now, the dog remembered another special friend that they wanted to bring with them on their adventure. And that friend, yeah, you guessed it, was the cat. So we have the dog, and as we come forward, we have the lizard, we have a cat, and we have a frog. Now these friends had an adventure in a boat. Okay, there's lots of different boats. This is a half boat. This is a whole boat. I'll show you from the front. This is a great big boat. And this is a sinking boat. Okay, our friends were in a big boat. Now, the dog and the cat and the frog went off in the boat. Okay, so they went up the river and down the river and up the river and down the river, and they kept going along in their boat. They were rowing that boat. Yeah, it was quite a big boat, but they were still rowing. And there was a lot of upriver and a lot of downriver for our friends to go on. Now, the dog and the cat and the frog remembered that they'd left the lizard behind. The lizard was running along the bank, and he eventually got in the boat with his friends, where they continued breathing in up the river and down the river. Okay, now our friends got a bit hungry, so they decided they should go to the shore and find some food. But first, they're going to make a table. So here's our table. Now the bottom lifts. We've got to make a flat table, otherwise the food's going to fall off. Okay, so here we are. We've got a table for our friends, the dog, the cat, the lizard, and the frog. They had a fantastic dinner. And then it got dark. So they decided to make a fire. This is our fire pose, where we sit in the thinking pose, but we pretend our fingers are like flames. So here we are, just quietly by the fire, reaching all the way up. Now our friends looked up into the sky and they saw some stars. So let's make stars with our body. So this, we call this the star pose. Oh no, this, here we are. It's a balance. And in the star pose, we look up at the stars. Now our friends wanted to know the names of the stars. So they got out a star book. And look, we're going to turn our feet into a book. Now, the problem with the book was that the words were really little. So we had to, our friends decided they would pick the book up all the way to their eyes so that they could see those tiny words. Now, the dog, the lizard, and the cat sat down with the frog to think about the beautiful day they'd had. So let's find the thinking pose again, where we're lifting the spine, relaxing the shoulders. We have this beautiful back. We've moved our body in lots of different ways, but now we need to be quiet again. We need to be still again. Okay, get you to make circles with your fingers. And when you're ready, we're going to take this hand across your body and reach all the way up, and then bring it back across the body all the way down. And then the other side, we're going to breathe in all the way up, breathe out all the way down. We're going to do both hands together, breathe in all the way up, and then all the way down. And there we are. We've done our yoga session. Poppy, are you going to come and say goodbye? No, she's in the garden looking at a lizard herself, I think. Okay, so let's bring the hands together. And bring your thumbs to your forehead. May your thoughts be happy. Thumbs to your lips. May your words be kind. Thumbs to your heart. May your heart be filled with love. Namaste, and I look forward to doing yoga with you again sometime.